So, I'm going to get this out of the way first. This deck is called Amorphage. Amorphage. Not AFROMAGE, like some fucking morons have been calling it. Amorphage. So, that's getting that out of the way. So anyways, this is my half-assed Amorphage deck profile. When I say half-assed, I mean I started making it before I started testing it. So I had gotten most of the cards, started testing it, and then realized it's pretty bad. It is arguably the worst deck I've ever made in real life. I've made a lot of decks online. This one takes the cake for being the worst I've ever made in real life. So, without further ado, let's get this awful deck over with. Alright, I'm going to start with the spells. So, spells, we run 1, 2, 3 Amorphage Infections. What it does is it pumps up your monsters' attack and defense by 100 for each Amorphage card you control. So, and they also stack. So, you say you have 3, they gain 300 for each Amorphage card you control, which helps out because a lot of them are pretty small. Whenever an Amorphage is attributed or destroyed by battle or card effect, you just add an Amorphage card. You usually go for a monster because your scales are what you need. If not, go for your trap card or your field spell. I like the field shit. I like the field spell. Oh god, the rest of the cards. Oh god, why? Oh god, why? Oh, why is this happening to me? Okay. Yeah, 3 infection. So your searcher. After that, you run. I'm probably going to put this to 2. It's at 1 right now because, like I said, half-assing the deck. Amorphous Persona. This, I'm pretty sure, is not counted as an Amorphage card, but still pumps your monsters up by 300 attack and defense. Each time an Amorphage monster is tributed, or actually, no, yeah, Amorphage monster is tributed, draw a card. So, up to twice. So, it's when you have your scales and you pop 2 cards, you draw 2 cards. And this is used also if it's destroyed, banish it, ritual summon your monster, but I don't play that ritual monster because he's bad. And if you run him, you should feel bad. Anyways, returning to the deck. I run 1, 2 drag connections because you can kind of brick your scales here. Like, the nice part about this is it's semi like a Rhoda, only it's more of a neg 1 Rhoda. So you activate this card, you reveal an Amorphage card or a dragon card in your hand, and you search out another dragon monster with the same level, and then you shuffle back the one you reveal. So you go neg to get something that you need. So if anything, if I can pick them up, I might run, what's that called? Ignite Reload, there we go. Because at least that way you break even and have better odds. After that, 2 Twin Twister and a Regeki, because Regeki, why the fuck not? Twin Twister, go back row. And yes, that's our spells. On to our traps. Don't run too many traps. 1, 2, 3, Pendulum Reborn. This is one of probably the best trap card this deck has, excluding its own, and the warning and the strike and everything else, but whatever. Anyways, so, Pendulum Reborn. It reborns a Pendulum monster. What else can I say? Nothing to it. You need your monsters on board for your scales to activate their floodgate abilities, and you also need monsters on board to keep your scales alive, otherwise they self-destruct and die, and you lose, and your opponent laughs at you, and you say, oh fuck, this deck is bad. Why did I make this deck? I'm a bad person. I'm currently running 2 Amorphage Lysis, whatever Lysis, I'm saying Lysis, I don't give a shit. 2 Amorphage Lysis. What it does is it's like the opposite effect of your Amorphage Infection. So each Amorphage card you control, your opponent's monsters lose 100 in attack and defense. If one of your scales are popped, you can activate a new scale from deck. Now, if they're destroyed during the standby phase because you, like most players of this deck, will not have a monster on board and the scales will blow up, yes, this will replace the scale, but the scale will still blow up anyways because it's still during standby phase. But definitely a good card, definitely need it, lets you toolbox your deck. Might put it at the 3, probably keep it at 2, I don't give a shit, waiting for this deck to get support before I even think of giving a crap. 1 warning, because warning's warning. 1 scolding, because strike is expensive. And you don't set that much back row. On to the abundance of monsters. Starting on our Amorphage lineup, 3 Sloth. He's a mistake. So you control... Okay, well, let me get this out of the way now. They all have these similar effects. All the scales need to have an Amorphage on board. They, during your standby phase, need to tribute a monster to survive, or they destroy themselves. Whenever they're most of them, minus the 2 big ones, whenever they're pendulum summoned, your opponent cannot use their extra deck except for Amorphage monsters. And you cannot use your extra deck except for Amorphage monsters, so no point running an extra deck in this. More or less no point, but yeah. So Sloth, he's a mistake. When your opponent, when you control an Amorphage, you cannot search out cards. Neither player can search. I run 3 of him because I like him. He's a one tribute. It's big enough, good enough. He's a 3 scale. Now, 2 Goliath. Hate this card. Oh yeah, hate this card also because I can't pendulum this. It is a level 8. This is a rank 4 pendulum deck. Because the scales are 5 and 3. You can make 4s. I don't know why they made so many that weren't 4s. Anyways, he's a Macrocosmos. And that's it. He's a Macrocosmos. Aside from his usual effects that kill himself and then walk out the extra deck, he's a Macrocosmos. Run 2 of him because he's harder to summon, takes 2 tributes. A lot of the time, I don't care. I'd rather have him in scale as a macro. Next. 1, 2, 3 Envy. Because this is based on the 7 deadly sins. Ha ha ha. Isn't Konami clever? Sloth, greed, envy, gluttony, lust. I don't think they did lust. So what envy does is you can't chain things, basically. Well, you can't activate Chain Link 2. So say I MST one of your back row, and I have this up with an Amorphage monster somehow. You can't respond. Same thing goes for me. I can't respond to anything you do. I run this because it's got big defense. I can set it. It won't get killed over. If it's flipped up, its effect activates where you lock out the extra deck. It's a level 4, so I can pendulum it, which is nice. And yes, that is why. 3 Envy. And now, 3 Wrath. Oh my god, ha ha ha, 7 deadly sins, we're so creative, hee hee hee. Anyways, so what this one does is it sucks. It's a 3 scale. I run it because it's got an okay attack and it's level 4. What it does while it's in scale is your opponent and you cannot tribute monsters except for Amorphage monsters. But guess what? More or less the only deck that tributes monsters is Monarchs right now. And guess what? They have Domain. And guess what? They have Stormforth. So they just Stormforth your fucking Amorphage, because you can tribute Amorphage monsters, and then they just go about their merry way and proceed to fuck your deck because your deck is bad and you should make something else. 2 Pride. I run 2 because its scale effect sucks, but it's got a good attack. Scale effect. No burn damage. Neither player takes burn damage. It's got 1750 attack, making it the biggest out of all the level 4 Morphages. Thank God. And yes, it's claimed the fame. I might put it 3, but I hate the scale effect so much that I might not. Depends if they get support. Now, on to my least favorite ones. Well, actually, there's one left before I get to that. 2 greed, because greed is roll a greed, and greed is good, and it's got good defense. So greed is actually one of the better ones. I might put this to 3, because yeah. All right, now to the least favorite ones. I love this card's artwork. This is Amorphage Lechery. Scale 5. Your opponent cannot activate spell cards, except for, well, neither player. I keep saying opponent. Neither player can activate spell cards, except for Amorphage cards. Well, that's fine and dandy and all, but it's a fucking level 2. So I will never be able to pendulum summon this in this deck. Because I don't think they're getting a 1 scale. They don't have a 2 scale. Even if they did have a 2 scale, it doesn't matter. And it's got god-awful attacks, so it's shit. It's only for its scale effect, which, thank God, is so good. Because spell cards, pretty important. Have one of these up, no pendulums. Can't activate your pendulum scales because they're spell cards. Awesome. So, and lastly, 2 Gluttony, because I am a oh. Your Lust. Oh, okay, alright. Yeah, Lechery, I guess, whatever. 2 Gluttony. Because Gluttony is a skill drain, except for Amorphage monsters, but... well, none of them really have effects that activate, so it doesn't matter. But whatever, so it's another fucking level 2. I can't pendulum summon this. It's got mediocre fucking defense. I have to set it, because it's got 0 fucking attack. It's just fucking scale. It's a scale. I can't even have these 2 up because they're both 5s. But whatever. Anyways, deck's bad, and I feel bad. But if Jirachi is real, then I will get support for his deck. So 2 Jurigato. Jurigato, you should know what Jurigato does. During the battle phase, well, battle step, he special summons himself, and you gain 1,000 life points. You're going to need it because you take damage with this deck, because this deck's bad, and you'll have an open field a lot of the time. And if you don't have an open field, you're winning. But odds are you're not winning because you're running this deck. So you summon Jurigato. During the battle phase, you can tribute Jurigato and pump up another monster by 1,000 attack. So odds are this monster will survive the attack. His combo play is with Amorphage Infection. So when you tribute Jurigato, this sets off and you search out an Amorphage card. Thank the Lord. We need all the speed we can get with this deck. Upstart is at 1, so I'm not bothering to run the Upstart anymore, because fuck that. Now, 1 Master Pendulum, because him blowing up your scale allows you to just toolbox whatever you feel like with the Amorphage Lysis. But he's the Down syndrome one out of him and his big brother, Luster Pendulum Dragon, the Draco Slayer 5. Anyways, so activate him, have this up, pop your Amorphage card, add an Amorphage card, add a new one, and you're good to go. It's beautiful. It is in fact a +1. Yes, it is in fact a +1. So you do that. I only run 1 of him because, well, if you run more than 1, you're cheating because he's at 1. So that was my Amorphage deck profile. It is very half-assed. I will most likely be modifying the deck at some point because, well, lots of room for improvement, but that's just a basis thing. Hopefully they get support. Please, God. Because I need the support. The deck is... the fact that the deck self-destructs its scales makes it really bad. If it didn't, then... but it does. And that's really bad. Like, I went up against shitty decks with this deck, and it was just bad. It was just bad. Like, I was facing Galaxies, and I will shit-talk Galaxies till I stop playing this game, because Galaxies are bad. Well, they're bad, but they're better than this deck, so... So, I was facing Galaxies, and I was running this deck. And they took 3 turns to set up, and I couldn't do anything. I opened, like, think 2 of the scale 5s, and I just looked at it and thought, oh my god, this is shit. And then they summoned some big dragon and they just fucked me with it. But it's okay, I picked up this deck. I must have deserved it, huh? Alright, this is Scrubby Top Deck, signing out with this fucking deck. Hope to God I fix it by some point. Like, comment, subscribe, and good night, everybody.